Tonight, we report on a shooting victim in Beverly and the prosecutor's decision on a fatal police shooting in Moses Lake. What's happening in sports, Bob?
There was a lot of exciting high school basketball and wrestling action over the weekend. Stay tuned to find out how your favorite team made out. But what's the weather forecast in the Columbia Basin tonight?
It was a cold and cloudy start to the work week across the Columbia Basin. I'll let you know what awaits us for the rest of the work week in a bit.
We have all this and much more on iFIBER 1 News.
From the iFIBER 1 HD studio here in the heart of the Columbia Basin, this is iFIBER 1 News. Your #1 source for local news, sports headlines, and our very own Weather Center forecast covering the entire Columbia Basin. This is iFIBER 1 News, and it starts now.
Robert Hernandez walked into the Outpost Grocery in Beverly Saturday evening with a gunshot wound to his belly. Grant County Sheriff's Office investigators are still trying to determine who shot the 22-year-old Mattawa man and where it occurred. Hernandez is not cooperating with law enforcement. He was taken to Quincy Valley Medical Center for treatment and later taken to Harborview Medical Center in Seattle. After surgery, Hernandez is listed to be in stable condition. Detectives are asking if anyone with information to call them about the shooting at 509-754-2011, extension 468, or email the information to crime-tips@co.grant.wa.us. The reference number is 14GS01241. Moses Lake police officer Aaron Hintz was left with only one option: shoot James Eshelman. Prosecutor Angus Lee released his review of the shooting and stated he found Hintz couldn't use a taser in the cramped space of Eshelman's carport when the man started swinging a knife at the officer. Lee said, "In this case, all evidence shows that the officer was making a lawful contract when he was placed in a clear and present danger of serious and possibly deadly assault. He, like all of us, had a right to take reasonable steps to defend himself and his fellow officer." The night of the shooting, Eshelman, a 54-year-old Moses Lake man, confronted police officers after they were called about him throwing garbage cans into the street. He was under the influence of alcohol and marijuana when he came out the door of his home and thrust a 5-inch knife at police in a cramped carport. As Eshelman attacked, Hintz fired 2 shots, killing Eshelman. Another pair of teams performed well this weekend along with the Seahawks. Moses Lake's cheerleaders returned from state competition with trophies. The high school students performed in the Alaska Airlines Arena at the University of Washington on Saturday. The Chiefs' gold team earned 3rd place in co-ed cheer competition with a score of 82.5, according to the Washington Interscholastic Activities Administration. They were about 5 points out of 1st place. The Chiefs' maroon team took 4th place in the non-tumbling large competition with a score of 70.5.
Each of the people you see here has warrants for their arrest and is wanted by various law enforcement agencies. If you see any of these people, the Department of Corrections asks that you do not attempt to detain or apprehend them, but to call police. You can also call the Department of Corrections at 509-764-6180 during the day or 509-762-1160 after 5 p.m.
We'll be right back after this.
DQ $5 lunch. I'm really into it. One thing I can't decide. Is it chicken strips, fries, and a drink with a free sundae, or do you get a sundae with free chicken strips, fries, and a drink? Trick question. Both answers are correct.
Exactly, Sam. It's Fanonomics. Entree, fries, drink, plus a sundae. The $5 lunch, only at your DQ. This is fan food, not fast food.
Looking for that authentic Philly flavor? Come down to Nia Carson's Cheesesteaks, Wings and Things and try our mouth-watering cheesesteak sandwiches, prepared fresh and served hot. Make sure to pair it up with our classic wings, ranging from sweet and tangy to hot and spicy. East meets West at Nia Carson's. We provide Moses Lake with that authentic Philadelphia taste. Bring the whole family. We promise to make them something they'll all enjoy. Nia Carson's Cheesesteaks Wings and Things. Good service, great price, and something different.
Hi folks, good to be with you once again. I'm meteorologist Miguel Montoya from the One News Weather Center. Your weather forecast is being brought to you by your Bud Clary Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places. Let's check out the headlines making news across our area. It was a cold and cloudy start to the work week, and the cold temperatures are here to stay right through the end of the work week and into this upcoming weekend. It was a cloudy start to the week, like I said, but we lose the clouds by tonight and tomorrow, so we get lots of sunshine back into our area over the next couple of days. But temperatures will remain bitterly cold each night. We're talking about temperatures in the single digits, maybe even flirting with 0 or a few degrees below in a few nights. And cold but sunny days, temperatures topping off in the teens to maybe some 20s. It was in the lower 20s this morning in Ephrata, only made it into the upper 20s in the afternoon. That's a good 10 degrees below normal for this time of year, but it could be worse, right? We could dip down to 19 below. That's the record for today here in Ephrata. A similar setup for Moses Lake. You woke up to temperatures in the lower 20s, made it to right around 29. You should be at 40 degrees. So nothing extreme as far as cold over the next couple of days, but it will remain unseasonably cold. We still have some cloudiness out there at the present time. Temperatures are in the 20s. Winds out of the north at about 9 miles per hour. So wind chill values overnight falling back into the minus single digits and minus single digits on Tuesday morning. Actually, it will remain quite breezy. Winds between 5 to 15 miles per hour tonight, and then we could see winds to 20 miles per hour tomorrow. We have a storm system off to our east, which will continue drifting out of the region, so conditions will gradually improve over the next 24 hours, and nothing but sunshine, midwinter sunshine along the northwestern U.S. for the remainder of the work week. A storm system will try to push into our area by late Saturday. Could throw some snow shower activity our way Saturday nights into Sunday. So partly to mostly sunny skies statewide on Tuesday. Temperatures only in the 20s and 30s. A few spots might not make it out of the upper teens, including places like Wenatchee on Tuesday afternoon, right around 18. Otherwise, a low to mid 20s area wide with partial sunshine. And as you can see on your extended forecast, it will remain bitterly cold over the next couple of days, maybe even a few degrees or a degree or two below 0, especially Friday night heading into Saturday morning. Well, folks, your weather forecast was brought to you by your Bud Clary Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places. We'll be right back with sports.
It's a fact. Toyota offers 10 different vehicles with available 4 or all-wheel drive. So when you need to drive in challenging conditions, we have your answer with great limited time savings, including the new 2014 Tundra. Choose from excellent cash back savings, a low payment lease, or special financing as low as 2.9%. Tundra, ready to take you down winter's toughest roads. Discover Toyota's 4 and all-wheel drives for yourself. Visit any of your Inland Empire Toyota dealers today. Toyota, let's go places.
At Moses Lake Community Health Center, we have had the privilege to serve the local community since 1978.
What I like about working at this clinic more than any other clinic that I've worked at is the patient care. With the patient care team that we've assembled, it allows us to take care of as many facets of the patient and their family's needs.
Please take the opportunity to experience the high-quality care provided at our clinics.
Welcome back. I'm Bob Kirkpatrick with today's sports. Well, how about them Seahawks? Super Bowl champions. You couldn't ask for a more dominating performance than the one the entire nation and football fans around the world witnessed in Seattle's lopsided 43-8 win over Denver yesterday. Odds makers favored the Broncos, and no one outside the Pacific Northwest gave the Seahawks much of a chance, but the naysayers were all proved wrong. The return of Percy Harvin to Seattle's lineup had a little something to do with it. Harvin scored to start the third quarter of action, ignited a 21-8 second-half run that saw the Seahawks make believers out of everyone. The win over the Broncos ended a 34-year drought for Seattle sports to give the city its second championship title, the first being the 78-79 Seattle Sonics. The Ephrata girls basketball team split games over the weekend. The Lady Tigers had their hands full at home against the 8th-ranked Ellensburg Bulldogs Friday night in a game that went to overtime before a winner was determined. Ephrata looked to be in control of things as the Lady Tigers led 20-11 at the end of the first 8 minutes of action, but a 13-7 Lady Bulldogs run in the second quarter got Ellensburg within 3 at the half, 27-24. The teams battled back and forth in the second half, and a buzzer beater by Ellensburg's Lexi Bland tied the contest 57-all to send the game to overtime. The Bulldogs outscored Ephrata 6-2 in the extra period to pull out the win 63-59. Ephrata hit the road to Othello Saturday and had little trouble with the Huskies in a 62-36 win. Kendall Sage knocked down a game-high 20 points. Dylan Bentham and Lloyd Burleson scored 12 each, but it wasn't enough to propel the Tigers to victory as they dropped their game to Ellensburg Friday. The Ephrata boys led 22-18 at the half, but was outplayed in the second 16 minutes of action as the Bulldogs hung 29 points on the board to the Tigers' 23 to come away with a 47-45 win. Ephrata bounced back with a 67-56 win over Othello Saturday to remain in the thick of things in the CWAC standings. The 10-4 Tigers are tied for second with East Valley and are just one game back of league leader Grandview with 4 games left in the regular season. The high-flying Soap Lake Eagles boys team was brought back to earth with a 35-33 non-league loss to Pateros Friday. The loss snapped a 13-game win streak. Soap Lake is still 8-0 in Central Washington 1B conference play and will end the regular season as league champion with 2 games left in the season. Back-to-back losses to Wenatchee and Eastmont over the weekend dropped the Moses Lake boys basketball team to 7-4 on the season and into 4th place in the Columbia Basin Big 9 standings with 3 games left. The Chiefs lost to Wenatchee 52-44 Friday and then dropped their game to the Wildcats 67-58 Saturday. The girls team split games with Wenatchee and Eastmont to move to 9-2 and 13-3 overall and are tied with Sunnyside for the league lead. The Chiefs were edged out by the Panthers 50-43 and then bounced back with a lopsided 65-38 win over the Wildcats in East Wenatchee. Jessie Loretta came up big for the Chiefs with 20 points, 6 rebounds, 6 steals, and 5 assists in the game. The Ephrata Tigers wrestling team ended the regular season in fine fashion with a 56-21 win over Sela at home Thursday. Dalton Ballantyne at 182 pounds started off the action with a first-round pin over the Vikings' Tommy Lund. David Svensson at 170 followed suit with a third-round pin over Alec Ray, and the Tigers ran off a string of wins to race out to a 36-0 lead and never looked back as they dominated the CWAC match. Next stop for Ephrata is the 2A District 5-6 tournament that takes place Friday and Saturday at Ellensburg High School. Well, be sure and tune in tomorrow night for iFIBER 1 Sports live coverage of Moses Lake Christian Academy, Columbia Basin Secondary High School basketball. The action gets started at 6 p.m. Well, that's it for sports. We'll be right back after this.
Well, one thing I knew from being a patient myself was that a dental office is a scary place to come to. And so we wanted everything possible to make sure that our office is a comfortable place for our patients to visit. And the patients that I have, my clients, have made me a part of this community, and we want to give back in every way possible.
My mom was never comfortable in any of her chairs. Getting in and out of them was hard on her joints. We found a solution at In-Home Medical. They have a great selection of lift chairs. Many cost less than national brand recliners. Some even featuring heating and vibration for added comfort. They can take her from a flat sleeping position to nearly standing. We found everything she needs for a much better quality of life at In-Home Medical.
Our spotlight story tonight is about how fans came together to watch the Super Bowl on a big screen. We mean a really big screen. Here is Jeff Chu with the story.
More than 160 Seattle Seahawks fans saw the championship team win Super Bowl 48 on the biggest screen in Ephrata and quite possibly Grant County. The Super Bowl party Sunday at the Lee Theater was the result of the theater's new digital movie technology. The Lee teamed up with iFIBER Communications for high-speed internet, which brought high-definition TV to the theater's silver screen. It was the closest thing to having a huge window view of all the action at New Jersey's MetLife Stadium, especially since the Seahawks offense and defense made horse meat out of the Denver Broncos. Theater co-owner Steve Whetstone and the theater staff hustled to get the hot wings, hot dogs, pizza, and popcorn ready before the doors were opened.
We're trying to provide a very family-oriented atmosphere so that those that don't want to go to a local bar or tavern or someplace like that can come here, bring their family, and enjoy the Super Bowl.
Whetstone said general seating was open while booths were reserved.
12 hours after we announced we're going to do the Super Bowl, they were all reserved.
He said the event could become a tradition.
It's special this year because of the Seahawks, but we're hoping this is our first annual.
Excited Seahawks fans lined up early to get inside the theater. Billy Hall was joined with her best friend, Kristen Leslie, both of Ephrata. Hall explained how she converted from a Broncos fan to those who love the Seahawks.
I'm a split family. I grew up a Broncos fan and married my husband 14 years ago, and now I'm a Seahawks fan. Converted. And right now I'm not talking to my mother or my cousin or my aunt who live in Colorado.
Anthony Evans said he was impressed with the festive theater event.
I think it's an awesome idea. I like the atmosphere. There's a lot of people here, and it seems to be a good thing, It's good for the community to get together and watch it on a big, giant screen, and go Seattle.
Seahawks fans didn't hold back. Adding to the family festivities, theater staff raffled off prizes during commercial breaks, giving away prizes to those who signed up in the lobby.
Go Seahawks!
I'm Jeff Chu for iFIBER 1 News.
We will be right back after this.
Hi, this is Kelly Moore from Moore Furniture. I want to let you all know how excited we are about Sealy's new gel memory foam beds. Sealy has taken memory foam to a whole new level by infusing gel beads into the mattress to keep you from getting too warm while you sleep. They come with a 25-year warranty, and we've got them on our floor for you to try out. We also offer free delivery and in-house financing, so stop by and see us and get yourself sleeping good at night. Remember, whatever you do in bed, Sealy supports it. So come see us at Moore Furniture in Ephrata or find us on the web at moorefurniture.net.
Let's go back to where better ingredients, better pizza first began.
Road trip. Wow, 1984.
Let's celebrate.
Celebrate 30 years of Papa John's. Get a large one-topping pizza for just 30 cents when you buy any large pizza at regular menu price.
30-cent pizza. Now that's pretty cool.
This is what's cool.
No, that's just wrong. Stick to better ingredients.
Better pizza?
Papa John's.
Papa John's.
Please.
In Northwest news, lawmakers are considering a measure that would put some of the taxes that will be potentially gained from the state's new legal marijuana industry into mental health programs. The Senate Committee on Human Services and Corrections held a public hearing on Senate Bill 6481 today. The measure would put 10% of the money into mental health programs, including one treating drug addiction. Washington voters passed Initiative 502 in November of 2012 to legalize and regulate the recreational use of pot by adults over 21, and the first state licensed pot stores are expected to open in the coming months. It was 38 years in the making, and the Seattle Seahawks are the NFL world champions. For fans, it was hard not to celebrate. Here with the story is CNN's Shelby Lynn.
It hits you, and I mean, even with the lead, you got to wait till it hits all those zeros for it to try to hit you. And then you go around and start pointing at people like, hey, you're a champion.
Super Bowl champions, that is. Seahawk fans in MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey, chanted, screamed, and waved flags with the Seattle green and navy colors when the Seahawks triumphed over the Broncos Sunday night. They watched as their team was presented with the coveted silver Vince Lombardi trophy. The team hoisted the trophy high into the air and passed it around. as green and navy confetti rained down on the field. In Denver, fans watched in misery as the Broncos went down in flames. Back in Seattle, the town went wild. The city's iconic Space Needle glowed with the Seahawk colors. Fireworks shot out of the top of the needle after the Seahawks won.
Seahawks, Seahawks, Seahawks.
On the ground, fans spilled into the streets, cheering and chanting, the excitement vibrating throughout the city.
Awesome. Greatest day ever.
Yeah?
Yeah. Huh, buddy? Oh, we were going nuts, running up and down the house. We had to come down to visit with all the other 12s, see the championship. I can't believe it. Thought it would never come. We've had such bad Seattle luck, but it's all turned now for the Seahawks.
But the celebration got a little out of control. Crowds set a fire in the street, tossing a couch onto the flames at one point. Firefighters responded, quickly dousing the blaze. The party went on into the wee hours of the morning. I'm Shelby Lynn reporting.
And that's going to do it for us here at iFIBER 1 News. We want to thank you for watching, and we'll see you again tomorrow.